YouTube Bozic going. The Goat House is back. Heading into week 8 with my updated rookie ranking. Some really good rookies this year, climbing the rankings. Some new guys entering the top 10. So we'll break it down like we do every single Monday night. Loads of content still to come for week 8. Really excited about our power rankings, which is next, and our picks and more. So join us, like, subscribe, turn notifications on. Bunch of trade deadline videos already up, more to come. Follow us on Twitter, a lot going on there. Links pinned in the comments for anything you're looking for. We got sponsors, Liquid IV, GLD Shop, code GOAT. Got a giveaway going on. Check it all out. Rookie rankings. So Sam Laporta's still in the top 10. He's at number 10. Moved down 3 spots mainly just because other guys a little bit more impressive recently. But Laporta, even though it was a bad loss for the Lions, somewhat productive still, remains in the top 10. Some guys that just missed, Rashee Rice, which tough leaving him out, but top 10, just such a select few. But he's been great. Tui Pelotu, Will Anderson, Byron Young, some really good pass rushing rookies. But Laporta 10, Josh Downs, first time he is on the list, who I was really high on in North Carolina. He's been fantastic for the Colts, getting more and more involved. You see the big playability, you see the speed, you see him being able to get the separation. A lot of stuff we saw at UNC. So big game out of him. He's up there, in terms of the yardage for rookie receivers. So that he's been very impressive already. Number 8, Deonte Banks. I think the first couple games started a little slow, looked like he was chasing guys in man coverage, but kind of just adjusted to the play speed. Obviously, he's a fast player, very athletic, but just adjusting from college to the NFL, that play speed. And I think he's already done that, and that's great because he's been locked down. He's been tight in coverage. The Giants asked their corners to run a bit of man. They've been trying to mix in some zone, though, actually blitzing less than they normally do. But he's been great recently, been fantastic. And going against those, the Bills receivers last week, with this past game, the Commanders receivers, they got a collection of weapons, speedy weapons out there too. So very much impressed. Other guy I was pretty high on, so I'm excited about that for Banks and Downs, that they are working their way up here. So the next group of guys, you see 7 through 5. Bijan dropped down a little bit. He didn't play because of illness, I guess. And then the last time he did play, I thought he got outplayed by his teammate Tyler Algier by a bit. So he's kind of working his way down right now. Not playing doesn't help. And Zay Flowers had a monstrous game, and he started the year in the top 10 for a couple weeks. Then, kind of bounced outside of it, not necessarily because he was playing bad. He did have a bad game full of drops a few weeks ago, but just other guys were playing better, but he still felt close to a top 10 guy. But what I needed to see from him was do more, than just catch the screen passes, the slants, and, every once in a while something else. In the Titans game, he found the end zone. Need to see him get in the end zone too. Titans game, he found the end zone, and this past game against the Lions, he was working down the field. So I love to see that. That's kind of what I needed to see from Zay Flowers. So he's working his way back up. And then Jordan Addison, just maybe a couple hours ago against the 49ers, a monstrous game for the rookie receiver. Looks like the Vikings got another one with him. I wanted to move him up more because how monstrous of a game that was, how much of an impact he is, and he's been productive. He gets touchdowns. Jordan Addison gets touchdowns, 6 on the year, 6, and now he had yards as well, but now he's got the yards, even more yards on top of it. It was tough not having him higher in this, but there's been some elite rookies, but he does seem to be the best. Or I guess the second best receiver. I'm say the best, second best receiver. But finding the end zone looks like the best. But looked like another Justin Jefferson out there. What he was doing against the Niners. Reading coverages, but the route running, just getting open, drawing contact several times, drawing contact. On the last big one that he got the corner to bite and Hufanga, the safety, to bite on the same route, and then drew contact penalty and still made the play. So what he's able to do in the catch before the first half too, I mean, incredible game, but it's not just the game. He's got 6 touchdowns on the year, a lot of production. So he works his way in the top 5. This is the lowest he would have been. I consider him being higher in this, but it's just the rookies have been so good because who are you going to squeeze him above? Devin Witherspoon is playing out of his mind recently. The Giants game a few weeks ago was like Addison's game tonight. or almost last night. It's going to be past midnight by the time this is up. But it was, pretty equivalent how, like, big of a game it was. But Witherspoon just continues to impress. Like, that week, and he's locked down against the Bengals and then against the Cardinals. But I love that they can use him in different ways. I like that he lines up at, inside, outside. He shows off getting in the backfield. He shows off just getting downhill, making a play. He shows off being locked down in coverage. He shows off getting a pass deflection. So I mean, he's everywhere. He's so fun to watch. I mean, the guy is so. I like how it's all coming together too, because he was fun to watch at Illinois. But a lot of it was because, you make a big hit here and there, and he did more than that, don't get me wrong. But it was times where he would kind of whiff a little bit, and then you kind of wondered, is he, what is he going to fit specific schemes and specific coverages? And now he's over here in Seattle, and he's doing a bit of everything, and he's playing. I think he's playing better ball than he did in college. And he if you watch like highlights and his best moments, you'd be wowed, as you should be. But maybe you want a little bit more completeness, and I think we're seeing that actually right now on Seattle. So I think he's actually better already than he was in college. So very impressive. C.J. Stroud's been historic, really, and what he's able to do. And the Texans are a good football team, and a lot because of it. He didn't play this week. It's kind of why he moved down. Jalen Carter had a pretty good game. Your normal box score, he won't show up too much, but I thought he collapsed the pocket again and disrupted the run, the Miami run, which has been very good this year. So he's definitely deserving of staying in the top two. But Stroud kind of moving down. Just those guys played. The top two guys played well, and he was on a bye. So it's just kind of how it goes as we get through some of these buys here. But number one's got to be Puka Nacua. They lost, but a monster game against the Steelers. Thought Cooper Kupp would have the monster game because the best receiver on the field. And the Steelers have been trying to find a guy to play the slot. That's where Cooper Kupp comes from a lot. But Puka Nacua, I mean, not only being productive, not only making plays, but the type of plays he's making. I mean, elite grabs on the sideline with these toe drags. Showing the toughness too, running guys over, low on his shoulder, getting those extra yards. So just super productive. Would like for him to find the end zone more. That's where the top five is kind of really getting close. The top five all feel like number one guys right now. Because Jordan Addison, he's always had the yardage, but he's starting to get the yardage. And then Puka Nacua is like far and away in terms of yardage. But Addison's getting those touchdowns. He's making impact in different ways. So I guess those guys aren't too far off. And then Carter's, is we talk about every week, being a disruptor in the pocket or in the run game as well. Stroud just changing the Texans, just changing them for the good and doing things that rookie quarterbacks don't do. And then Witherspoon, again, if you watch the full tape at Illinois and the full tape now, both great. But I think he looks a little, it's a small sample size right now still, but he looks a little more complete actually to me right now. And he's getting better and better and doing multiple different things. And then what Addison's starting to do as well, maybe Jefferson being out helped him. So those top five guys all kind of feel like number ones right now. And then Zay Flowers, I like how he's doing better and better. Got a touchdown last week, doing more, getting downfield this week. Love that. Robinson has the ability to be up there, but disappointing outing 2 weeks ago, and then disappointing that he did not play. And I thought Algier and Patterson looked pretty good anyways. And Banks and Downs are guys that are working their way up too. It's crazy because there's so many good guys. Like, these guys are going to work up, right? But they got to continue to play great, and then other guys kind of got to fall off maybe a little bit. So it's just showing how good like the top of this class is, and there's some other guys we didn't really get that didn't make. Because remember, the top 10 is such a select few. So really impressed with a lot of receivers making this list, guys that just missed the cut as well. So really impressed overall with these rookies. But that will wrap it up for this week's rookie rankings. We're back every single week. The next video will be power rankings, and then we'll have our picks, score predictions, bets, locks, trade deadline videos, which we already have some up, so check those out. Like, subscribe, turn notifications on, follow us on Twitter, links pinned in the comments for anything you're looking for. Let's go do it. Goodbye.